Achilles spear. I hear a lot of people don't like spear. One of the most common things that I've heard from people across the entire time of me playing Hades is people coming into my chat and being like, bro, I fucking hate spear so much. So, I'm going to show you love, all right? If you hate spear, I'm going to show you love, okay? And that love comes from a particular hammer. Base spear is kind of medium, right? It doesn't do very much damage. It's got weird, its range is okay, but its damage is kind of stinky. But before I go over this hammer, let's go over what Achilles does. Achilles has a special, right? It's special. You throw the special to a location, and then when you press the special again, you teleport, well, you dash to the spear and reclaim it. And then you get this little buff on you. You can see the little fiery animation around, right? The next 4 hits that I do, either attacks or casts out of Achilles, are going to have a 150% damage bonus. So you can see I'm doing a good bit more damage than my normal attacks for those next 4. A little quirk of this, if I get the buff, then I do 3 attacks, and then I try to refresh the buff, it doesn't. I only get 1 more attack. You have to exhaust all 4 attacks to be able to refresh the buff. Okay? You normally don't have to think about that, but that's just a little thing that you gotta know. So, the buff is nice, but the most important part of this is that it is a really fast mobility tool, right? So here's how, if I'm just using dashes, let me go from here all the way to the other side of this room with just dashes, right? So let's turn around and we'll just dash. Right? Decent. Here's if I'm doing Achilles spear. Much faster, right? It is a significant mobility tool. So the buff is nice, but a lot of what comes from Achilles spear is being able to go like and move to locations very quickly. But the other thing that you want to make Achilles spear amazing is a particular hammer called Flurry Jab. Now, let's look at Achilles spear's dash attack without Flurry Jab. So you can see that it's this big like golf swing hit, like a big it's a big uppercut slash type thing that's kind of slow and has a bit of a cooldown in between your dashes, right? Has to hit and then have like a little bit of hit stop and then you move between the dashes. There's a couple of ways of making this dash attack a little bit better. One of them is serrated point, which makes it so that your attacks your dash attacks are tripled. It's still kind of slow. The problem with serrated point is it does have a drawback, which makes your dashes worse, and serrated point's attacks are pretty slow to come out. They can still do damage, but you need more to make it do damage. But there's a really understated hammer that I wish was described better in the game that really changes the game here, which is Flurry Jab. Now let's look at what Flurry Jab says. It says, hold attack to strike rapidly, but you cannot spin attack. I'm just going to say that spin attack is one of the worst attacks, one of the worst things in the game Hades by Supergiant. The spear spin attack is so bad, don't use it. So disabling that isn't really a downside. Hold attack to strike rapidly does not adequately describe what this does. This changes your dash attack animation to be able to do this. Remember all that like internal dash cooldown? Yeah, you don't have any of that anymore. This is your dash strike after flurry jab, all right? It's really fast. And if you chain it with your special, let's start with a special and let's do. Look at how fast I move. So you can see how quickly I can move around with this and deal damage. So, how are we going to optimize this? How are we going to maximize the damage that we can get out of this flurry jab? Well, one of the things that it does is it allows us to dash strike rapidly. So we're going to use Tidal Dash, which has the highest per hit damage of any dash to both group enemies and deal a lot of damage. Plus, Spear has great range, which means that Flurry Jab will be able to hit enemies even if you're knocking enemies away, right? Then we're going to try and get something like Artemis Attack or Zeus Attack to make use of this like rapid attack rate. Artemis Attack is really nice because it scales, crit scales very well with percent damage bonuses, and you get 150% damage bonus from your Achilles buff. So crit or Zeus generally there. And then we want to look for a lot of the really good synergy boons like Phalanx Shot, Zeus Call, Smoldering Air, Slicing Shot with Hunting Blades is very good. Dionysus Trippy Shot with Ice Wine is very powerful. Basically, the core of the build is some good attack, either Artemis or Zeus, and Poseidon Dash, and then you want to get a bunch of like weird things to add on to it to help it do good damage. Another thing that it needs is that it does need pretty good Hermes boons, so Hermes is a very high priority. You want to try and get plus dashes or hyper delivery. But that's going to be the core of how the build works. The biggest weakness of this is that Flurry Jab is only a 1 in 3 chance of showing up on your first hammer. There are 9 available hammers for Achilles Spear, and Flurry Jab is one of them. So because of that, there's 3 shots at it. There's about a 1 in 3 chance of actually getting a Flurry Jab on every run. So because of that, a lot of times when we're doing unmodded runs, there's modded categories and things that you can get Flurry Jab all the time in, but when we're doing unmodded runs, Flurry Jab is only a 1 in 3 chance of appearing, so you do often have to reset quite a lot to be able to get it. But once you do, you get to go off, right? If you can't get Flurry Jab, which attack would you rather be left with? I would rather reset. Fuck playing with anything else. Absolutely not. I'm not gonna fucking play without Flurry Jab. Are you kidding me? I would play Serrated Point, but at the same time, I'm not gonna do that. Gonna sound very beginner. Totally fine, but I don't execute well dash strike. IDK what I'm doing wrong. I'm too used to 2 dashes attack 2 dashes, which is a bad habit because I'm terribly slow. Tips to master dash strike. So here's my favorite weapon to play to learn how to dash strike on. Pick sword, okay? And here's what you're going to do. You're going to do a special and then try and do a slow dash strike out of it, right? Right? You're going to try and just hit dash and attack, dash and attack, dash and attack out of the special. So special, then you can buffer the dash attacks. What this allows you to do, the buffering means that it's far less likely that you do attacks. The special attack buffering is really good. Then you just want to try and build speed while you do this. These are my tips from my Zagreus sword guide that I just recommend very highly for getting fundamental mechanics. Yeah, sword is very good for learning fundamental mechanics, yes. So doing like buffered dash strikes is just very solid. X, Y at the same time, or first X, then Y. I press them at the same time, but to get used to it, I recommend doing X, then Y, dash, then attack, and then just slowly build up to doing them simultaneously, right? So you can see, watch my controller cam. I can get it by doing staggered. But if I do it simultaneously, right? Like, the simultaneous is faster, but if you're just learning how to do it, you can do dash then attack to start, right? Good? Okay. So, we're gonna refresh. I'm gonna refresh all my stuff, and then we're gonna go in and do a run with this. So I'm gonna turn on Fiery Presence here. I really like Fiery Presence. It just makes Tartarus go so smoothly. The world record holder likes Shadow Presence. I don't. That's it. It's pretty much down to preference though. God's Pride, Infernal Soul. Infernal Soul casts are very good here, so. Dunk who pioneered the Achilles meta, was it you? It was more like Bablo, and then I took it and made it even, and refined it even more. And then after I refined it, Webbs refined it even more. So it was like a chain from Bablo to me to Webbs. The only build that I can really say is my claim to fame is the Eris build. The Eris build was me. I invented that. But it then got refined by other people, but I'm the person who invented the Eris build. So, Seastorm Eris is my invention. Okay, so let's get going. And again, just like the Rama run, if I don't get Flurry Jab, I'm going to cheat to get Flurry Jab because I don't want to reset for Flurry Jab, okay? I want to be able to demonstrate, not reset, right? And before we get into the run, there's going to be basically two phases of this run. Pre-Flurry Jab and post-Flurry Jab. The pre-Flurry Jab phase of the run is where I'm going to be doing a lot of dash striking with Tidal Dash to be able to get damage in. And then the post-Flurry Jab phase, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing, but it's going to look different. It's the same play pattern. It's just a lot more, a lot quicker. And it's going to look different. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Plus, I'm going to be using the special a lot to cross rooms very quickly. So, for example, right here to pick up the first boon, I'm going to special really fast. Oh, something I didn't explain. You can buffer your special. If you press special twice quickly, you will immediately dash to your special the frame that it lands. So that's how I go so fast with the special. If you buffer the second special input, you just right to it. Okay? So I'm going to do a buffered special and then 2 dashes and grab the boon. And it's probably going to be pretty fast. Oh, hammer. See, and this is where I'm going to have to cheat because I didn't get the hammer. So let's quickly do our cheating. I need to go to Chthonic Gods. We're going to reset my boons. Then I'm going to go to Artifacts, Daedalus Hammer, Flurry Jab. Okay. We have Flurry Jab.
Might as well.
Right. So, I'm gonna grab Excruciating Affluence. This is decent. Maybe this is better. I don't know. Minus 31 health here means I'm probably gonna die. Let's just get some money. See, we got Flurry Jab. Exactly. So, I'm just gonna be crossing the room with my special and dash striking at enemies. Yeah? So just like... Also, throwing a cast at things is really good. I often want to lead on a cast, then go into dash strikes. So, like, we're going to special at something. There we go. Okay, now we're going to get Tidal Dash. There we go. And now we have the basics of the build. This is the start of the build. So, I'm going to just keep dashing at enemies, throwing casts at them when they're large, and then killing them with Flurry Jab combos, right? Or throwing casts at them while they're spawning. That's another way. That's another way to get good damage out of the casts. Zeus. Okay, so a little thing about the build. if you don't get Zeus or Artemis in Tartarus, you want to force Artemis in Asphodel because Artemis is the best attack in a vacuum. But if you get Zeus in Tartarus, Zeus attack is actually very strong, but requires Jolted. So that's why we don't take it later, is because it requires Palms and Jolted. And yeah, because we can get an attack boon in Asphodel and still be fine. Basically, this is the basics for Tartarus. Since we're getting a Zeus this early, we're going to try and get Zeus attack and then try and maybe get Splitting Bolt and Jolted. That's the kind of plan here now that we've seen Zeus. Epic Zeus attack. Good start. Now we would like to get a couple palms into both our dash and our attack. That would be optimal. Also, 45 seconds of hell. Going for a caster and attack build? Why not both? The standard Achilles build is primarily an attack build, but does have the ability to spec into some very powerful casts. You're capable, this is neither an attack build nor a cast build. It is a hybrid build that can get a lot of different things and make them all work. But it does spend more time attacking than it does casting. You cannot get that with just the Poseidon Dash, Robson. You can't get that with just the Poseidon Dash. That was actually only possible in the 1.0 update and was nerfed. Sea Storm used to be available off of just the Dash, but it was nerfed because Eris Rail was too strong. Cool. Little trick here, you can send the spear across the fountain room to quickly get to the exit. Cute little trick in Tartarus. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna grab Hyper Sprint, because Hyper Delivery is one of the possible options for damage, and then I'll actually buy this and pick up, nice, Phalanx Shot. Because Phalanx Shot can get me Lightning Phalanx, which is one of the possible damage options, and, again, this build does go very well with powerful casts. Phalanx Shot is a powerful cast, and Lightning Phalanx makes it even stronger. I'll put this into Tidal Dash. You can also do it in Elysium Bridge Room, right? Correct.
I can take it.
I'm gonna pick up Slippery Grass. Just get another cast. And a second Zeus. Nice. Second Zeus is really good. We want to get... Zeus is really great with a critical mass of Zeus boons. None of these, though. These ones suck. Ooh, Common Jolted. I want to save my rerolls, so I am going to take Common Jolted, but I'm not happy about it. Common Jolted's quite stinky.
I'm back, ladies.
Cool. Now notice what I'm doing is I'm sending a cast, doing a full salvo of attacks, then throwing my spear through Tisiphone to the other side, dashing to it, and then repeating the process, right? Though I am not sometimes casting on the second half of the process, yeah? Sometimes because I don't have a cast, and sometimes because it's just faster to just attack. So a lot of what I do against bosses is I do a full salvo of attacks, throw the spear through the boss, catch the spear, and then attack them from the other side, right? It's like a circling maneuver where you're just going around through, around through, around through. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to take Zeus keepsake here because I would like to pick up like Splitting Bolt. So Storm Lightning Splitting Bolt would be very solid. Also Zeus Call would be very nice. So those are two very good options. We don't want Zeus Flourish, but I mean, it's not that likely that we see that. I mean, actually, it's very likely that we see it, but it's not that likely that we're forced to take it. Healing from darkness generally heals you at all the wrong times, and over the course of a run will heal you less. Demonstrate option select on doors. Oh, I'm so bad at it. That's why I haven't been doing it, Pinecone. All right, so door option select is where before the doors open, what you do is you throw the spear to one of the doors, right? You throw the spear to one of the doors, and then when the doors open, if the door... you get closer to one of the doors. So if you're, say that I'm doing option select here, I would throw the spear over there. I would check the 2 doors. I'm now closer to the left door if it's the one that I want to take, and then I recall over if I want to take the one that's nearer to the spear, right? It's a good special for this build. Doesn't really matter. Your special is not an important source of damage. Usually you only want a special that opens things up. So for example, Aphrodite special to open up Smoldering Air or something like that is okay. Alright, so we picked up a Eurydice. I'm going to grab Refreshing Nectar off of the Yuri, because I would love to get a good second Hermes boon. Hermes is very important, so picking up like a strong bonus dashes or hyper delivery is super solid. Where the fuck? There they are. Poseidon special for Storm? No, because Poseidon special will knock enemies away when you go through them. It's actually not good. It's actually actively bad. I'm gonna grab a Palm and Tidal Dash is gonna be slightly more reliable, but I would like to get another Palm into Static Discharge at some point. Talk about how bad Storm Lightning is. It's dog shit. It's only here so that it can open up Splitting Bolt. Lightning Phalanx. Nice. That's really good. That helps make our cast something pretty powerful. So, that's good. I like that. Ah, Brage. Frickin' Brage of Death. Brage of Death. Well, we haven't seen one yet today, so... I guess we were due for one. Now, a cute trick that you can do here on the Barge of Death that helps a little bit is you can actually dash through the door before it opens. So that's a cute little trick. So I'm going to actually pick up pressure points here. Epic pressure points actually adds a good amount of damage. I could pick up Deadly Flourish also to be able to potentially see Mirage Shot, but I'm not that interested in that. Pressure points is a lot more consistent. Notice I dash after almost every cast that I do. It's because you can cancel the wind down animation of your cast by dashing. So a great way to get a lot of damage out very quickly is to cast and then immediately go into some dash strikes. Great method for dealing damage. I want this Hermes because this Hermes, I can get a Hermes with Nectar, and getting a Hermes with Nectar gives me a higher chance of getting a very strong second Hermes. Come on. Hyper delivery plus dashes. Something. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's good. All right. We're going to do some damage. So hyper delivery is a very powerful combo. Hyper sprint plus rush delivery means that every time I dash, I'm going to get 100% bonus damage. So we're gonna do some freaking damage. Oh shit! Done. Basically, Jesse. I mean, I don't see purple rush delivery that often. I miss that boon. I miss that fucking boon. Got him. Wait, it's not called rush sprint? How dare you, Parafit. It's hyper delivery. And you shan't sully its name like this. Alright. So, Now that we have this build, we don't really have are calls worth it in some builds? Calls are usually worth it, actually, but usually only a couple of calls. The best calls are Zeus Call, Dionysus Call, and Hades Call, which is actually what I'm about to take. Hades Call is super duper duper powerful, and I'm going to use it.
Should I take the train? Bye, Asphodel.
Hell yeah, Jesse. Special and dash strike that's 250% damage with chance to crit. Why plus 250? It's plus 150% damage. Oh, yeah, because of the rush delivery, yes. And then the rush delivery, the thing about the rush delivery is the rush delivery applies to your tidal dash. And it also applies to your phalanx shot. And it also applies to your Zeus lightning. And it also applies to your crits, right? So, very strong. Passing a Baker with rush delivery, I never think about it, Pinecone. I'm too much of an RTA player. So, let me tell you about Hades Call real quick. Hades Call. This is a call that you only get in the hyper late game. You get it by gifting a bunch of nectar to your dad. It makes you invisible and gives you a plus 100% global damage bonus for 2.5 seconds. It's very good. It's one of the best calls in the game, and used to be broken, then got nerfed, and is still very strong. The thing that's nice about it is it's a call that you just need your keepsake slot for. So if you don't need your keepsake slot for anything else, you can just slap this on and you have a good call. So, it also gives you some movement speed and makes you intangible for for a little bit. Nice. Okay, we're going to pick up. So here, I'm going to answer a burning question that people often have. How do you want both serrated point and flurry jab? No. Why don't you want serrated point and flurry jab? Serrated point overrides your flurry jab dash attack, which means that serrated point is going to be just nerf your flurry jab. Serrated point just makes it so that you can't move as quickly and do all the things that flurry jab wants to do. Don't take it. Serrated point nerfs you. All right. Extending jab is going to be the thing here that actually adds any value to the run at all. Right? So here, we're just generally going to be charging at enemies, throwing casts at them sometimes, trying to move very quickly across the room. And I'm going to put a palm into, actually, my lightning strike. I'd like to get one palm into my attack. It's usually very helpful. Okay, here we go. Stream dead? I don't believe so, Toughman. Believe everybody else can see it. Internet died for a second? That makes sense. So here I just let two enemies right next to each other, and then I lightning phalanx them both to death. This is why we took Storm Lightning. Let's do some math here real quick. You ready for some math? Lightning Strike level 2 does 19 damage per attack. With your basic attacks, your attacks are doing about 50 damage per shot. 40 to 50 damage per shot. Which means that Splitting Bolt doubles your attack damage. Yes. It does not, Toughman, I don't believe. Alright, so now let's pick up Billowing Strength. Sure. This is a lot of Zeus. I'm going to put another palm into Lightning Strike here, and sure, we'll just take this. Hi, Asterius. You want to die, buddy? Nice. That was damage. I'm going to grab Divine Flourish just to get that out of my pool of options. So you notice there? Okay, a quick little thing that I did. Notice I didn't start attacking immediately. I actually dashed to the top of the room because I knew that the shield guy was going to charge at me, and so would the spearman. So if I dash past the shield guy, it would probably get the two of them right next to each other so I could kill them simultaneously. Just these little optimizations that you can do for grouping that really help out. This build's accessible to people new to the game. It is mostly a matter of knowing what to pick. They will get better the later in the game you are, but they are accessible to people who are new at the game. Yes. They will get stronger as you go. You'll get more and more stuff as you go, but you still can play them. They just might not be quite as powerful, right? Like, I would say that without, you know, Olympian favor and rerolls, you'll probably have, like, Tidal Dash, Zeus Attack, Jolted, maybe Hyper Delivery, not really, but probably not the Splitting Bolt or the Hyper Delivery, but, like, you could have Flurry Jab, Phalanx Shot, things like that. Like, a lot of the core boons of this, the ones that are needed to make it just, like, go, are very accessible. It's only the super high-level stuff that is good, that you need for speedrunning, that is inaccessible, right? Or less accessible. Yeah, so I could play this build with literally just Zeus Attack, Jolted, and Tidal Dash, and that's it. And it would still be a build that can win the game easily. It's just the sheer level of power that you're seeing is going to be more and more available as the game goes on, right? So, yes, you can play them. No, they're not going to look quite as powerful. No problem. That's what I'm here for. This is a teaching stream. I want to be transparent and give you as much info as you need.
Just a bit longer.
Like, for example, I actually, in my Fresh File to Credits run the other day, on a new save file, I was getting builds, like late game level style builds, and I wasn't going quite as fast, but I was still getting, like, very strong builds. Certainly are transparent. Yes, it's kind of a quirk of my green screen. God, the thing that I want is I want to make enough money to move to a new place where I can have a studio with a better green screen. Proudbearing. Proudbearing has great synergy with Hades Call because Hades Call starts 30% charged, I believe, which means that with Proudbearing I can use it immediately when I start the room. So that's good. It's a lot of epics. Yes. What's this?
My blessing be with you.
Blinding Flash. Sure. We're gonna do some damage here. Redbeardy, I have spent literally like probably 80 hours on tweaking this green screen. The problem is that my wall is too close behind me, so there's nothing I can do. All I really need is a room where I can have the green screen further behind me, and I can fix it. But in this room, my green screen is literally like I'm touching it right now. It's less than 2 feet behind me. Anyway, so what are the god combo works well in Zag Sword? Ares and Athena and look for the Merciful End, or get Artemis and Aphrodite and look for Heartrend. Okay, here we go. Oops, I forgot to Meg. I was too busy thinking about teaching. That's okay. Hey, buds. Hey, Theses, can you phase? Thank you. Nice. The thing about Zag Sword is that it doesn't actually, like, probably in the early game, it doesn't actually have enough, it doesn't have a movement speed bonus, so. Didn't say hi to the good shade, Sag. I know, I'm a monster. Can't use Hades Call on Hades boss, right? That's where you're fucking wrong, Gamersource PT. You can use it on Hades. He actually has special dialogue when you use it on him. That's the best time to use it. Not only is it really helpful in the fight, but he's just like, you're like, father, and he's like, son. It's really good. I love it. It also makes him repeat his spin and kill you real fast. That too! I'm right here! Yeah. Yes, I hear you! Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, father what? Yeah. Father what? Also, holy shit, our damage is so good right now. Our damage is nuts at the moment. This is actually disgusting damage. We're gonna delete Dad. And we get a 2-sack. Oh, delicious. I might actually sub 8 on a tutorial run where I didn't actually spend very much time doing things. Where I spent extra time explaining stuff and like standing around in rooms. This is crazy. I have a lot of damage right now. We'll see how fast my Hades fight is. I didn't meg heroes. That wasn't a single tunnel? That was 2 tunnels. Did you cheated in Flurry Jab? Yes. That's the only thing that I cheated in Flurry Jab in room 1. And that's it. But it was also a hammer in room 1, so I simulated what would have happened if I'd gotten Flurry Jab, you know? Okay. Holy fucking shit. No, bastard. Instant darkness.
Let's finish this.
Just simulated resetting, yeah. Doesn't Achilles usually have bad bossing? Yeah. Not today, it fucking doesn't. Ah, well. Nice. 746. I just